Well, to speak further on the matter, Omori Aigbe, who is the Senior Monitoring and Evaluation Officer for Center for Democracy and Development, joins us now. Thank you very much for joining us on the news. The EFCC has opposed the establishment of the Electoral Offence Commission, citing duplication of functions. How exactly would you react to this?
Oh, thank you very much for having me. The truth of the matter is that there is no duplication of effort. If there were duplication of effort, by this time, we would have been counting success stories of prosecution of election of offenders, but that has not happened. In any case, it was the INEC that went to lobby, permit me to use the word lobby, EFCC to come on board to try to arrest a critical aspect of electoral fraud, which was, which of course, vote buying. INEC EFCC's positioning in the last 2 years had come in by the invitation of INEC to try to sweep across polling unit to arrest persons or political actors who are seen buying a vote on election day. But beyond vote buying are other critical matters that go beyond just economic crime, as it were. There are electoral crimes, there are electoral fraud that if the Penal Code or the EFCC Act or the Electoral Act has been able to achieve all of those, we won't be where we are now, where we are clamoring for a commission that will deal with specifically electoral offences, electoral malfeasance. We were at this point when the police at some point were responsible for prosecution. And if you listen to INEC over time, and including civil society organization, all of the people were arrested in 2015, all of those who were arrested in 2019, how many of such cases did we follow through that the EFCC did prosecute or the police did prosecute? We all know that INEC lacked the power, INEC lacked the resources, INEC lacked the will to take on electoral offences. Let's keep that out to an agency, to a commission. I think that's the essence of this whole idea of supporting the Electoral Offences Commission in our country to clean up the mess that has bedeviled our electoral processes.
Right now, the bill provides for various sanctions ranging from 6 months to 20 years, as well as fines from 100,000 naira to 50 million naira. You know, some stakeholders have said that these sanctions are actually unrealistic. Do you agree with them?
Anything that will clean up our electoral processes should be supported. Anything. And one of those is the beavers. And you've seen the way we supported the beavers. One of those is the improvement in our electoral landscape through the Electoral Act of 2022. Now we are having an Electoral Offences Commission. If the offences is just 20,000 naira, I mean, people can commit it and pay for 100,000 people. If the amount is sufficient enough, it will serve as deterrent. Don't forget, the whole idea of this is to serve as deterrent to electoral manipulators. There are several of these cases, like you said, it ranges. There are worst cases, there are minimal cases. For example, if a presiding officer manipulates an electoral process, it wouldn't serve the jail of 20 years. I think that's about 6 months or thereabout, between 6 months and a year. So it will put electoral officials, particularly presiding officers, officers at their toe, not to engage in anything that will send them to jail. And many of such cases are important. If you have followed antecedent in this country, we were here when a returning officer in Imo had cried out that at gunpoint or at duress, under duress, he had to declare candidate. And because even though the Electoral Act has solved those processes, but how do we deal with those political actors who subject our election officials under duress to make certain declarations? There need to be high sanctions, very high sanctions. If I have my way, you should increase those sanctions. Not even talking about reduction. We need to increase them, because you know why it is important? Our leadership selection process is the bane of our democratic development, is the bane of our advancement as a country. If we have a selection process that will turn out real leaders of Nigeria, we will have a great Nigeria tomorrow. But if we continue to hide under manipulation electoral processes, we are going to have the kind of leaders we never ever imagine in our lifetime. We should come together as Nigeria to have an electoral system that is devoid of electoral offences.
Right, Omori Aigbe, Senior Monitoring and Evaluation Officer for the Center for Democracy and Development. Thank you so much for joining us on the news, and thanks for your contributions.